Parents of Reddit, what was your "oh god I've raised a monster" moment? 1. My 6-year-old has always had unusual interests. She asked me to show her pictures of what's inside our bodies. I showed her diagrams on Google, and she said, "No, I mean inside of a real body. Like someone who has passed away." I showed her some random picture of an arm surgery and she was begging for more. She also always asks me to stop so she can look at animals that have been hit on the road. When my childhood dog passed away, she tried to sneak a look inside the bag while I was bawling. 2. When I watched my younger son walk out on the porch, pick up a plastic wiffle bat, look at it, look at his older brother sitting on the porch steps, look back at the bat, and then haul back and crack his brother's head like Babe Ruth popping one out of the park. 3. Today, my 3-year-old dipped her cantaloupe in ketchup and ate a whole plate of it. 4. My mom found out her lack of parenting with my brother went wrong when he tried to choke me out for accidentally kicking him. I don't even remember being choked, but apparently it was so bad he had to go to anger management and therapy for 3 years. 5. Years ago, my wife and I had a very heated argument. Our daughter overhears us and comes into the room just as things hit their peak. My wife rushes into the bathroom crying. I'm left sitting on the bed feeling low, listening to my wife sob on the other side of the door. Our daughter looks up at me with a smile and says, "Mommy's crying," and proceeds to laugh loud enough for Mom to hear. And with that, I was in trouble for something entirely new. 6. My 11-year-old son recently called 911 and said I slapped him. CPS came, it was a cluster. It was so well orchestrated, he even took a picture of himself with a red mark on his face. I didn't slap him and it eventually got debunked, although he still won't admit it. He lives with his dad now, and isn't allowed here until I can afford a camera system. Still unclear on what the motive was. 7. When my son blithely told me he wants to play the documentary Under the Curve for his classmates because he is trying to convince them the world is flat. He admits he knows it is not, but he is trying, actively, to con them into thinking it is. 8. When my son decided in the grocery store parking lot that it would be fun to scream, "You're not my mommy. Where's my mommy? You're not my real mom." He had this evil smirk on his face as I panicked and tried to explain what could happen if someone heard that. He started yelling it louder. 9. 3-year-old daughter deliberately screaming to wake up her 4-month-old sister. For 5 hours. During a long car ride. 10. When my son was 13 or 14, we were chatting about how as kids get older, and parents become elderly, often the kids become a caregiver to some degree to the parent. My son offhandedly remarked that he'd be looking for the cheapest nursing home at which to park me.